Welcome to our i32. Recently, we had rebuilt the pulleys and bearings and shafts. They got really damaged because there was some looseness that had occurred and it wasn't detected. So the recent event that took place was this end cap or bell housing has actually come out. There was sorry, my light's going out. There appears to have been, once there was some kind of looseness on the actual threaded rod that goes and holds this to the end side of the motor. Evidently there was some kind of looseness that occurred, and unfortunately, as it started moving, we started having thermal events. So right now, if I were to take and get the belt off of this side, I don't know if I can do it, but I should be able to turn this. So this part here, where the commutator is, the armature, it's damaged beyond all recognition. It had a thermal meltdown. So with these carbon brushes not being seated properly, they're arcing, and that overheated it. So we're gonna have to replace this motor, unfortunately. But there was something about a bolt being sheared off, but this actually, there's a bolt on the other side that holds this plate on this fixture to the deck. That's why we see what we see with these two hex heads. These are loosened and a lever is placed in the back of this motor back here, and we move the motor to give it deflection, but right now it's kind of set up pretty good. Now looking at what the good side looks like here. Okay, I'm just turning this by hand. Feels nice and smooth. No issues. We'll have to check and make sure that these are tight. These are the threaded rods that go through the whole motor housing and locks into the end here. So this one is disconnected. But needless to say, don't really know what event occurred to cause this to happen. This is not recoverable. It's not at all. The carbon brushes are damaged, and there's a lot of thermal damage on the inside. So the best thing to do is replace the motor. Again, this was a question that this was a bored out hole, but no, there's a bolt on the other side, a bolt head, and that's just part of the assembly. So what we're gonna do is try to gently take this belt off if we can save it. I'm just gonna loosen the motor up the best I can and let it drop a little bit, but that's gonna be the culprit right there. So we're gonna get the quote put together and sent off. Oh, here's a part two. So I had to use what bearings I had to get this rebuilt. These are brand new, but the only thing that we're missing, and the quote is already in to replace this. Actually right here, this is what we're replacing, these idler skirts. So they are actually supposed to go on each side. This is the left and right side, but I had just enough to decent bearings. I don't know if they were brand new. They felt pretty good. So I don't know how many hours they had on this machine before failure, but we're gonna finish this up as soon as we get the parts in. Okay, here's another issue. As soon as I came up to the machine, I noticed that they haven't been cleaning up their brushes, and with the buildup of dirt, it will actually grab on to the spindle side, the motor drive side, and it will become like glue. With the combination of chemical solution and water, if these aren't pulled out and dried or allowed to dry, we're gonna have issues. So these brushes need to be rinsed with hot water and set out to dry on their ends along with the idlers. Just an FYI. So a little more investigation. I'm trying to get this pulley off, but it's seized. So what actually happened here is a seal had been damaged and moisture had actually got in. You could see all this rust. So there's been some moisture harbored in here for a while, but this is completely seized and has to be pulled off.